The impact of the pandemic has been felt very differently across the UK and across generations. Young people have been less likely to fall ill, but significantly more likely to lose their jobs and face long-term financial problems. And many of the young were already struggling with employment or burdened with student loans. Amol Rajan has been to rural Warwickshire to speak to those now rethinking their futures.
Deep in the heart of rural Britain, the Shipston young farmers ought to have been enjoying a golden summer, savouring their freedom while on the cusp of their careers. Instead, the serenity of rural Warwickshire conceals the anxiety of a generation who have seen their futures delayed.
I just think people might change their careers completely, like they might more towards like an NHS career or even just like the farming career, like a job that's more worthwhile than actually focusing on just a big business like marketing in London or something like that.
Does money stress you out?
It does. From being in a single parent family, that's very stressful, especially now. My mother's been furloughed, so it's just a bit stressful now and then, but as long as I've still got a job, that's fine. Now we're all good.
Just emotionally, how have you found the whole experience of this pandemic?
I feel like it's almost a rite of passage to take your A-levels at the end of school, and it seems weird when I talk in 20 years' time and people ask me, what did you get in your A-levels, what did you do? I'll be like, well, I did them, but I didn't actually have to sit the exams, so there are definitely like positives and negatives to it.
A survey by the Resolution Foundation shows that last month, 18 to 24-year-olds were hardest hit in employment terms. A third of them have been furloughed or lost their job or lost pay.
Colleges have shut and schools have shut, so you can't actually do the learning at the moment. So I think if you're in a 4-year apprenticeship, there's a chance it could take 5, it could take 6, because you've been pushed back now on the learning side. And obviously to actually pass through, you've got to qualify.
The COVID-19, it hasn't affected me personally because I've still got to work. Cows have still got to be fed, pigs have still got to be fed. It's had a really good impact at work because our farm shop has just gone crazy. A lot of people, they've realised local produce, home bred, no food miles. It's really good.
How do you feel being part of a generation that is entering an economic contraction?
In terms of the economic burden on us, I think our generation's got quite a large weight of responsibility on our shoulders, and we've got to make sure that, you know, we've got a lot to pay into the system. I think we're expecting to be taxed, and I think you know, there's a lot of money being paid out, and rightly so. You know, every tax breaks on businesses and people on furlough, it's necessary and it has to be done. So I think everyone just has to play their part.
It's often been said about this virus that we're all in it together. But actually, each generation is having a very different experience. Older people are more likely to fall ill. And younger people, already facing exorbitant house prices or student loans, are now going to be burdened by huge new national debts as well as their own.
Come on then!
Come on, Bex! Raised in the shadow of a financial crisis and now counting the cost of COVID-19, like millions of others, these young people know their future needs a rethink. Amol Rajan, BBC News, Warwickshire.